audio. In 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 audio.
Yes, people. What's going on? Welcome back to Saeed TV, and we are live for Best of the Rest show, brought to you by Boohoo Man. Make sure you go check it out, people. Use a QR code right next to Premsy there. Use that QR code to get 40% off, or you go and get the link in the description. Go that way. Use the code Saeed that way, and he'll give you 40% off. Man like Lewis has got his hold up, so it can only mean one thing. It's another Chelsea therapy. Shout out to my guy Lewis. Shout out to all the Chelsea fans struggling right now. I feel your pain. I was there last season, but we out. We outside right now. We outside.
Nah, they deserve it. They fucking deserve it, mate. I'm telling you now.
Just long,
Hey,
bro.
listen.
Patrick, by the way, like I said last week, congratulations on the 3 points. Hope
Yeah,
it
you
was fun.
did. You did. And I was worried. I can't lie. Our record against you is scandalous, to say the least. So, you know, they say form goes out the window in these type of derbies, but form or not, our form is atrocious. But we'll get into it. But yeah, good to have you on there. One thing I can never get onto Lewis is rain, sleet, hell,
facts.
whatever. He's here. And
Front
he's here
line.
with his, front line, always repping. So I respect that highly. I really do.
Can't go nowhere, mate. That's why. Can't go nowhere. Don't you be giving him that. I'm telling you now, pick up Lewis.
I said rains.
Sad
Hail.
times.
That's very, very correct because there's nothing positive. There's no sunshine. There's nothing. Not even mild weather. It's just shite. It's just shite.
Even in London, it's cold, man, right now. So you're not even
it's
getting a bit of
freezing.
warm weather.
It's freezing.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So
When the summertime
listen,
comes, the fixtures get worse. So I don't even want good weather. There's no positives. Silver's out for
Listen.
6 weeks too. So
Yeah.
When it rains, it pours. Literally.
When it rains, it
the
pours, man.
blood,
So-
bruv, kill me.
Mm,
Genuinely kill
absolutely.
me.
Big up to everybody who's locked in right now. Over 200 of you's already in the chat. Make sure you guys like the video. Bottom right hand corner. Please do smash them likes up. Top of the league, still shining over there. Premsy TV in the building. What are you telling them?
Yo, man's all good, bro. I'm telling you, tomorrow night, chance to make it go 5 points clear at the top, and that's what we need to do. Some revenge on Sean Dyche's side, Everton team. We got Patrick there hating. You get me, Lewis hating. United. I don't know what's going on with United now. I got to give you guys your credit as well, but we'll get into that a little bit later on. But now, must-win game tomorrow. We have to create a little bit of distance between us and City tomorrow.
Absolutely. And obviously, man, like Patrick. Surprised you got no Tottenham. Oh, you got the Tottenham hat on. Yeah. Fair
I've
play.
got the Spurs.
Shirt on.
Yeah, that's it.
Come
So it's
on.
the Nike Air Max Spurs on. I should have worn the Nike Air Max hat, but it's still obviously
Looking like a charity shirt. You got his own clear t-shirt, but slapped a sticker on it. Looking like Subway. You know what I'm Subway, white
and he calls me a hater.
And you wrote in that. It's mad.
It's all coming out. So listen, no one can knock my shine. Back-to-back London derby wins. You know, we're looking good right now. It's all good. Four wins in the last 5 games, 4 clean sheets out of the last 5. The only blip was when Conte came back, which is weird, you know, against Leicester. So yeah, I'm feeling all right, man. I'm feeling all right. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, you know what I mean? It's just Amy's reiterating it there. Chelsea fan Silva's out for 8 weeks. You know what? Apart from football, like Lewis, what do you do in your spare time now? How are you coping when Chelsea's not playing right now? What do you do? What's your go-to right now? Let the Chelsea fans know.
I lie down in a dark room with a Zubi in my hand and just let time go past.
Yeah.
Check the news to see if Potter's been sacked. He hasn't been sacked. Just continue to lie there.
Rinse and repeat.
I hope you're buying some Cali with the way that things are going, mate. You need that high grade right about now. I'm telling you now.
I need Cali, bro. Not even the UK brand. I need Cali, bro. Or if any bleach or anything. Coming to get me out of this world because it stinks.
You know what's mad, yeah? Listen, this is why I did the title of the video, man. Chelsea fans, yeah. I don't know what's going on, but listen, I seen this yesterday, you know, and I don't know who this guy is. Big up to CFC Janty. Man said, I have a dream, you know. Like, you got all the money in the world, yeah, but Ten Hag ain't going to Chelsea. You missed out when you had the chance. You know what I mean? And now Chelsea fans are twerking for Ten Hag. I see, you know what I mean? I see your tweet, Lewis, as well, you know what I mean, about the training, how Ten Hag gets them going.
We've got another day off, by the way. We got another
day off. Like, for real?
Yeah. We've had more days off since we lost to Southampton last week than we've had goals in February or wins.
Mental.
Wow.
That is
combined.
Crazy.
I know.
But your club, man, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, man. You, man, you're actually in the mud, you know. Like, Chelsea right now are well and truly in the mud. Like, them, man. Even yesterday, I was on the Big Six. I couldn't even cook Lewis. What's it called? Not Lewis. Matisse. That's how mad you, man, are effed right now. Like, you're on a different level. And you spent all the money, but nothing to show for it. Every time I'm watching Chelsea, I feel like I'm disappointed, Lewis. I'm like, yo, where's the superstar quality? Where's Enzo Fernandez? Rise. This is the big boy player you paid for. 105 million.
Right, you were begging for him, fam. I don't know what you're talking about. You get me? You got a lucky escape.
You should have stayed at Benfica. Should have stayed at Benfica, man, and just waited till we came. But
you
bro,
know
Lewis,
all jokes aside, no one can look good in this system. That's the problem. These guys are good players.
Well, there you go.
But
bro, I told you.
I told you. Fernandes is a good player. Midrick is a good player.
Midrick.
You know,
Midrick, Patrick's on a disrespecting mad thing. I told you, post-Roman bums, nobody wanted to listen, and I told you right from the get-go. You get me? And it's coming into play. It's what happens.
You
The
know what?
problem is it's still just a manager that's a bigger issue than all these players. Like Enzo, we're being forced to play Enzo as a 6 because again, our genius manager thought, let me sell our only DM to Arsenal and then say it's a win-win-win for all parties. You absolute fucking idiot. And then there's Mudryk, who's just, to be honest, not really been that great anyway. Madueke left to rot on the bench. Aubameyang left to rot on the bench. Badiashile left to rot on the bench. I don't understand this guy. He went into the
he weren't even on the bench, man.
Badiashile.
I'm sure he wasn't on the bench.
Even more clueless then in that case because he's been our second best centre back. But that lineup I looked at and it was like it's already going to be a 2-0. It was easy to predict. Benching Badiashile for no reason. Ziyech on the right. Havertz up top again. Even though Fofana actually looked good against Southampton and he got taken out of the entire squad. Then the game management. Well, first off, no patterns of play, no style of play. We were 30-minute FC again, started well and then disappeared. Then after we go 1-0 down, we have Mudryk, you have Madueke, you have Aubameyang on the bench. There's great options you could bring on to maybe turn the game round. Who does he bring on? Mickey Mount and Zakaria. He brings on Mount and Zakaria to do what? And then he doesn't bring on. He leaves Havertz on to play another full 90. By the way, he literally did nothing except high intensity interval training for 90 minutes, nothing else. And then he takes Felix off at 2-0 down with 10 minutes left. He decides, right, now's the time. I'm gonna bring on Aubameyang and Mudryk, just to embarrass him. Just to embarrass Aubameyang. And even bringing him on at that point, all that says to me is he could have started. He could be featuring in past games. Could be featuring. Sterling was our best attacker on Sunday.
Yeah, Sterling was all right, yeah.
Yeah, Sterling was the only guy that I felt a bit worried or threatened by when he had the ball. But other than that, like Lewis said, I mean, I was worried going into this game because Chelsea have had our number for years. And looking at the form table, it will tell you, out of the last 6 games, the last 8 games, 2 draws, which we were fortunate in the last one, about the bridge where we pulled Cucurella's hair and got away with it. We was fortunate to get a 2-2 there. We actually got played off the park and literally been spanked in every game. I think they had scored 14 goals. We'd only scored 3. It was men against boys. So even though Chelsea had been woeful, I was really worried because I was like, this will be the game which, they find their form and then start bouncing back. But to be fair, after the first 20 minutes, I was like, you know what? That you can just tell the game how it's going to go. And I was like, these guys haven't really got anything. I never felt threatened, other than when Sterling kind of dipped his shoulder and took that shot, which Fraser Forster saved, but kind of messed up, but we cleared it. That was the only time I was worried. They just got no attacking threat, man. They're just toothless. You know what I mean?
They're toothless. They're toothless. You know what, man? And big up to Anthony Topia. He says here, which Arsenal episode is Chelsea watching this week? I try to tell every Chelsea fans that strip club money is not a good money. Harry Potter in. You know what? Everybody's just trolling you. And you know what it is, yeah? I just feel like right now, it's almost like David Boyes 2.0, man. Like the guy is, you know what, as well, if you look at his Brighton record at home as well, it wasn't great as well. There was periods
I saw a tweet from 2021, right? That just was resurfacing. And it said, it was at that point in 2021, and it said Brighton's last 3 home wins have come in 2019, 2020, and 2021.
Wow.
I said 1 home win a year.
Yeah, he's got a shocking home record. But because it was Brighton, he got away with it. Because no one's really watching him like that. And he, against the big boys, he would play well. So we only see them 3 or 4 times a year. So we're like, wow, this Potter guy's got something going. But guys that actually, I know a girl called Chloe, who's a massive Brighton fan. She follows them home and away. And she even said it. She goes, he's not as good as a manager as you lot are making him out to be. And I've had him week in, week out. Because when he left, I was like, how do you feel? And she goes, it's one of them things. They're used to obviously selling their best players. And she wasn't that worried. And lo and behold, they're still all right.
No, there's levels to it. You get me? There's different levels, and he clearly can't manage at this level. You know what I mean? I think Brighton was his level. That kind of team where he could try to push on and do good things and look good in certain games and certain aspects. Because you got to give him credit. When he was at Brighton, they had a very good brand of football.
100%.
They were getting results.
Personality.
You need some balls behind you. Get me? You need some fight. You need to have that personality and character where the players in that dressing room can look to you as an inspiration. You know what I mean? When things ain't going well, you've got the right things to say to make these guys push on. And at the moment, bro, it's absolute mad. Joe, Chelsea are just looking like an absolute shit show. I think if you're taking Tuchel's points away from them, like got 20 odd points or something, they're hitting rock bottom, relegation zone.
Yeah, they would be in a relegation battle.
21 points if we take the 10 that Tuchel won for us.
That's
crazy.
Crazy.
That's a third of the points that Graham Potter. That is just crazy. They can't even get 3 points. They can't score a goal, Nate says.
I've got to apologise to Lewis because, a couple of weeks ago when he said, I'm just looking for 40 points, and I was cracking up thinking he was taking the piss. And now I'm looking at it like, wow, Lewis is actually spitting.
You gotta watch Chelsea. Just watch Chelsea. Like, I don't know what you expect from us. Like, we're not in a top 4 race, top 7 race. We're just in the Champions League by default until next week. Like, if they keep Potter any longer, because this is the winnable run of games that I keep saying. Tottenham away, respectfully, we should be winning. We usually win. Southampton, Everton. Who else do we have? We got Leicester away. We've had Southampton, Leeds. These are the winnable run of games. And if we don't win these, those teams are around us too, and they will catch up on us in that time. After that, we got to go to Old Trafford. We got to go to the Emirates. We've got to go to the Etihad for our last away game. Our last home game is against Newcastle, chasing Europe. We're in a relegation battle. If we keep this guy, we're in a relegation scrap. It's as simple as that. And I don't even know if we get out of it.
And to be fair to you, you've been backing him as well. You have actually been backing him and giving him his time as well. So for you to now come out and see it.
Yeah. You know what's mad, yeah? And big up to Matt Ross. Is this the end of Chelsea, Liverpool, City era? City, I'm not sure. Obviously, it depends on what happens with their financial situation. But I think with Chelsea, it is a case of just getting a manager in, finding a system, and then they'll click. But the sooner, like, I don't know. They're saying 2 games he's got to save
no
his
system,
job.
though.
He's got
Even
no system.
2 games, I've seen that, but it's like, well, what's the point? 2 games so we can lose the only competition that we're realistically in and lose another 3 points to Leeds and let them do the double over us. For what? Literally for what at this point? Just get rid of him while there is still something to salvage, because the longer that this goes on, the worse that we're going to get. And if Potter even makes it through to the end of the season, what, you think Potter is going to be attractive to any young prospect after this season? No chance.
They got too many players as well in the team and too many egos.
Exactly. The squad's the issue. The players are the issue. But this is relegation form and they're standing by it. Like in our last 15 games, if you look at the form table, we are 17th. We are literally in relegation form. This would have been a sackable offence anywhere else. But I think right now, Chelsea is still holding on to pride at this point. Just take the L, accept we were wrong with Potter, move on, bring in somebody to steady the ship, take us till the end of the season and find somebody long-term, because this guy is going to take Chelsea down to the Championship.
Who would you bring in, though? If you sacked him now, who would you bring in?
Anybody except Ollie. Anybody except Ollie. And I'm fine.
Listen, I'm looking at Ollie now and I'm thinking, listen, he's doing a better job than this guy, mate. I'm telling you now, man. Like, and listen, Ollie wasn't the sort of cup of tea for me, but listen, he weren't on this kind of form. You know what I mean?
At the beginning, Ollie did well, hence why he got the actual extension.
He's not had a bounce though, Potter. He's not had a bounce.
I know, he's not had anything.
Yeah.
He had a start. We were unbeaten in the first 5 games, and then he decided to switch from a back 5 to a back 4.
But didn't he drew like all of them, didn't he, or something?
No, there was like 2-3 wins there. 2-3 wins. Couple of draws. But it's actually positive compared to what we're doing right now. But then he decided to move from a back 5 to a back 4. And we've just been arse ever since. I don't know why, because we actually had some sort of structure in a back 5. Even if we still looked a bit shit up top, it's like we always have been. I'm not really going to expect much different from that. But now we play a back 4. We look terrible. Midfield's a joke. Attack's an even bigger joke. We've got Silver out for the next 6 weeks. So it's like, there's nothing. There's nothing left.
Yeah. Divij says, big up to Divij, says Eric Ten Hag went on a 13.8 kilometer run after the 4-0 loss with the players. Again, he just gives us days off. Matt Ross says, Chelsea should get Ollie in. He'll steady the ship. John Terry, man. Viva John Terry.
I've seen a few Chelsea accounts tweet about John Terry, saying John Terry and Lamp's assistant at the end of the season.
They're taking the piss, man. If they need to go and get a proper manager in to get me. In order how much money they've spent, and in order for Todd Bowley to fix what's going on, putting all joking aside, they can't be going in for a John Terry. You get me? That's just an absolute mad thing. They're going for a John Terry. Yeah, these men deserve to get relegated. That's what I'm saying.
That is the most sideways appointment, maybe even backwards appointment you could make, and that is saying a lot. Silly. The only way that would work is if Terry turns into Sean Dyche and just makes everyone step back.
Do you know what, Lewis? Lewis, I got a question for you, yeah? Do you know, after this Graham Potter signing now, would you not want to go for another manager that's, say, for example, a Thomas Frank that's in mid-table with Brentford doing good things there? Does that put you off that kind of appointment?
Yeah, I was going to say.
I don't know, because I still wouldn't really be fair on them. Like, I think some managers should be afforded the opportunity to make the step up, but I think with Potter, it's a bit of the wrong time because you sacked Tuchel at the start of the season to bring him in. It's also partly just like you panicked a little bit. You thought, all right, cool, I'm going to get rid of Tuchel. Who's the next available one? They thought, all right, Potter's got a bit of good prop. Everyone likes him. Everyone would want him as their next manager at that time. Fuck it, let's go for Potter. But I don't know, like, if we went in for a Thomas Frank, I wouldn't be too against it. Even a Poch, I wouldn't be too against. Like, we have the worst manager that I've ever watched in Chelsea history, and I've never, ever been a manager out. I've backed every single manager until the end. This guy, no, he's crap. He's terrible.
Would you take Mourinho back?
Yes. Yes, in a heartbeat.
I can see him
Heartbeat,
going
I'll take
Chelsea.
him back. If he snakes Roma like that for us, cool. Part 3, bring it back. Last dance. At least then there'll be at least he can make us just sit back and draw our way to safety, and we can move on from there.
You know what I was going to ask you, yeah? And big up to everybody watching. There's over 500 here. Make sure you smash the likes up. You know what I was going to say, yeah? In a sense, yeah, I don't think Chelsea fans got over Tuchel. That was kind of, I feel in a way, I do feel sorry for Potter because everyone still didn't get over the fact that Tuchel got sacked. He was very much loved by the Chelsea fan base. Yes,
but
at
they
the
gave
same
him
time,
a fresh start. It wasn't like Tuchel had it tougher when he first joined, trying to replace Lampard than Potter did replacing Tuchel.
You think
in my
so?
opinion. Chelsea fans were heavily against Tuchel when he first joined. They were calling him Tottenham Tommy and everything because of an interview that came out where he said he admired Spurs and everything.
Yeah,
it took him all the Champions League win for him to turn over most of the fan base. Potter, he didn't have it that hard. Everyone was shocked over the Tuchel sacking, but we were all willing to give him an opportunity. He's made his own bed, and that's on him.
That's peak. But then again, he's comparing himself to Arteta and Premsey. He's trying to say they gave him time.
He's begging it. He's begging it.
And Jurgen Klopp, and he used Klopp
and Jurgen Klopp. Yeah.
This guy just watches all or nothing documentaries. Thinks, oh, what did Arteta do? Oh, Oba, get out of my club. That's it. Doesn't think anything.
Do you know what it is? You could just see he's clinging on to his job by a thread, man, because Arteta's situation to his situation is totally different. Arteta didn't come in and spend 600 million. Arteta didn't already walk into a team that 2 years before has won the Champions League and the Club World Cup. You get me? He had to literally rip everything out and rebuild it. And you got to think within the first year or two, I think he spent about 200 million or something. And that was probably like a backlog of players that needed to go and players needed to come in. So you can't really compare it. Arteta never even had a job. This was his first ever job in any kind of football manager role. You know what I mean? He was an assistant to Pep, but that's not being a first team manager. You get me? This guy's had numerous jobs. He's been in the Premier League with Brighton for years. He's just begging it too much, man. He's trying to throw the heat onto other people like Jurgen Klopp as well, man. I seen him mention his name a few times, but he's clinging on by a thread. He's clinging on by a thread. And if Chelsea have any kind of sense about him, rather than ego of, obviously, we've appointed this guy, we want to keep him, he's going to come good. There's no given that every manager is going to go on the same route as Arteta. Do you know what I mean? It was shaky with Arteta at the start, but he's managed to turn it around. That's not going to happen with every manager. By now, you should understand, and for me, know at least a quality enough 11 out of all the players you got to field out week in, week out, bro. You get me? I understand there's a lot of players in training. There's a lot of people to look at, but the guy's been in there for a good number of games now. How long's he been there now, Louis? So over 20 games or something?
Yeah, about 20, 25 games, something like that.
That should be more than enough, to see the players every day in training, week in, week out, and understand who's a good footballer and who's not, who's going to fit your system the best, because it's not like he's coming with a brand new system. He already had his system from Brighton. He already understands the Premier League. He's got to pick which players fit the bill. And right now, you're not seeing nothing proactive from this guy at all. Every time Chelsea step on the pitch, you're expecting him to get pumped. And obviously, that's not a Chelsea we've been accustomed to over the years, which is crazy.
It's one of them. It depends here. And Patrick, Pochettino might come in and he might steady the ship and he might do well. But I don't know if they might go get an interim to the end of the season if they sack him and be like, you know what, this season's over. Because if they lose the Champions League, the season's over. They'd rather just get to top 10, top 8 if they can, try and salvage the season somehow. But I don't think a manager wants to come in now. I don't think a top manager comes in now. You look at what we had with Ragnick. It was Ragnick to the end of the season, and then we got in Ten Hag. Like, a manager wants to come in at the end of the season. Top manager as well. So, what do you think, Pochettino? Does he come in, Pochettino? Like mid-season?
I hope not. I still love Poch, and Tottenham fans still love Poch, and we want him to do well, but not at Chelsea. And to be fair, I don't want to see him in the Premier League if it's not Spurs. But I don't even want Poch back right now. So it's a bit of a mad one. But I do understand he has to take a job at some point. PSG was okay. But at PSG, the standards are like through the roof. Unless you're winning the league comfortably and balling out in the Champions League, you're always going to get chopped there. So the Chelsea appointment would have been a good appointment, but off the back of what's happened now, it's a poison chalice. So even if Poch goes there, the fans will be okay for a while. But then if he's not playing the sort of football they like, Chelsea fans are spoiled as well because they're used to winning things. So if Poch doesn't hit the ground running and start, balling out and obviously getting them far in the cups, and he'll be gone as well. There's no loyalty in football.
Tag.
Yeah, so I don't think, personally, I don't think it's a good move for him. Yes, Chelsea are a massive club. Yes, they're one of the best clubs in the world. They've got an amazing squad, but I think it's probably not the right move for Poch. But to be fair, they can attract a top manager. There's no doubt about that. They need to be brave, go out and get a top manager. But I agree with what you're saying, Sai. I think for now it's an interim job. And then in the summer, you really talk to the top managers out there, allow them to come in and flex. And a good manager will know his best 11, his best 15. They have the balls to drop certain players. Some players, as good as you are, you're not my kind of player. See you later. Graham Potter keeps chopping and changing. I think he made 6 changes from his last league game against Southampton versus Tottenham. That shows you don't know what you're doing. You're 20 games in now. How are you making 6 changes in a league game? Not a cup game, by the way, because we understand cups are different.
Exactly.
It's true. 6 changes, that's half the squad in a league game. That's mental. So, and I watched that game. Obviously, I was at the game and I just saw nothing from, unless like Sterling grabbed the ball and tried to do something, or João Felix. These guys had nothing. Enzo Fernandez, who was a star a couple months ago, if we didn't know who that guy was, you would have never known he was a top player. So no one looks good in that team. Reece James, Ben Chilwell, Koulibaly looked shit, let's be real. Kepa, chocolate wrist for that goal. It was a thunderbolt by Skip, but I'm sorry, I better keep up tips over the bar. David De Gea saved loads of shots like that, if we're being real. So, like, the team's just a joke, man, from top to bottom. And I think as well, these players are not shit players, but they got no faith and no belief. We saw the game against Southampton when they were coming out. They looked like fucking skeletons. They looked like they didn't want to play. It's just a horrible situation to be in. And no youngster is going to want to be in that as well. So like you said, Sai, if they don't bring a top manager in, no top talents coming there in the summer.
No, you're right, Patrick. And I think some people in the comments as well, someone's put there, I think Rainbow, the God Potter has ruined Reece James. You know what? 100%. Players' confidence must be shot through the roof. You get me? They must be absolutely on the floor because, like Lewis touched on, Badashile, this guy come in, good signing, young, hungry, come to a new league, looks the part, big, tall, strong. The guy gets left out. What must that do to players' confidence? You get me? You got to know how to manage people as well. And I think that's a big part of it. I think a lot of the Chelsea dressing room are losing a lot of respect for this guy fast as well. They're probably looking at him thinking, what the fuck have you done in your career? You get me? You've done absolutely nothing, yeah? You've had a decent spell at Brighton. Who are you to tell me this and who are you to leave me out? Do you know what I mean? So I think there's a bit of a problem there with the players and the coach. I think it's going to be soon enough that players are going to start probably trying to speak to the owner about it and try to get rid of him himself because it just does not look like a happy place to be.
I'd be surprised they haven't done it already, to be honest. The way things are hearing, it's apparently going to be 2 more games at the most before he's gone, but I wouldn't hold my breath on anything at this point because it's all about pride. But I don't know who they bring in. Like, I know we spoke about Poch before. Did Poch say no to the Barca job while he was at Spurs? Yeah, because of the Espanyol link.
Yeah, he did. Allegedly, they sounded him out, and he said he's not sure. Like, he didn't say yes, he didn't say no. Because obviously, he knows it's a top job, but also at the same time, we're not stupid. Poch is waiting to see what happens with Conte. Because if Conte goes, 100% we're going. Poch.
That's true.
So Poch is still waiting.
Conte goes back to Chelsea.
Listen, crazier things have happened in football, man.
Come back.
Things have happened.
Yeah, you would have Conte back.
Over this bum in charge, I'll take anybody.
100. You know what? Conte will cook with that squad. Look at the amount of talent they've got. Like, let's not act like that team isn't stacked full of talent. It is.
That back 5, he'll be salivating.
Yeah.
He will wing backs as well that he would like.
I know. 2 good. Well, they got 4 good wing backs. They got a good squad, but the wrong manager. And every week it's just looking worse and worse. Like when I watched them on Sunday, I was thinking, wow, this team is actually probably one of the worst teams I've seen play this season. Like even West Ham had more about them. Do you know what I mean?
It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Guys, keep smashing the likes up. 600 of you in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to everyone's channels. And yeah, man, keep supporting the channel, people, man. But let's move over to Arsenal, man. You know what I mean?
So just quickly put that comment on. Nah,
Which one?
Potter to Spurs. No,
Please,
no,
please.
Joe.
I don't ask for much.
No.
They take all Chelsea managers, so they might as well take him as well.
Yeah, not that one. Not that one.
Yeah, man. But you know what, though, man? Arsenal, top of the league. Tomorrow you got a big game. You know what I mean? It's one of them, man. You got to make sure you make this one count because you don't want to be bottling this one. You know, even though Everton, you know what I mean, they're down and out there. You just never know, man. So Arsenal got to be on their guard tomorrow.
No, most definitely. I think I'm confident though with us being at home as well. Like, not many teams come to the Emirates and get any points, but you're 100% right, man. We need to make this count. We need to create that gap between us and City, and also psychologically it do us well getting that revenge over Everton after they just beat us. They're the last team to beat us, so we need to get the victory. I think we are finding form again. We had a little bit of a blip where a few results went against us, a few decisions went against us as well. You get me? But it looks like the boys are back now. They're playing good football against Leicester. Probably one of the most one-sided wins that you're ever going to see. You could have argued Saka should have had a penalty in that game as well. You could have argued that the Ben White situation was very soft and we could have got a goal. But the most important thing, that was soft, bro. Nah, no way, not in my opinion. You get me?
It was a foul.
He grabbed him.
Nah, he didn't grab him. Why? He didn't grab him down. He just had his arms up and put his arms down. Soft.
Fall down, man.
Trust me, very soft, yeah. But bottom line of it is, we went there, we got 2 away victories on the trot, just what we needed. And now it just looks like we need to push and continue for the rest of the season. We're going to have to wait and see when the Europa League kicks in and how that affects things. But I think the squad now, I think Arteta's brought some smart signings in. I think a lot of people, myself included, wasn't with the Jorginho signing. But it looks like he's brought in some experience. It looks like he's brought in some passing quality, you get me? Because I personally thought he was a sideways pass. I didn't watch Chelsea that much, you get me? And every time I did watch him, I didn't really see that progressive play. And since he's come to Arsenal, Arteta's obviously took him up to a new level real quick. My man's spraying the ball out, putting dangerous balls in behind. That shot as well that he had against Villa, unbelievable. Somebody who was less experienced probably wouldn't have took that shot. And it's looking good. Trossard playing in a new position, false number 9, taking Eddie Nketiah out the team, who hasn't scored in a few games, gives us good options. You can see it's probably benefited Martinelli's game as well, because Trossard likes to drift out to the left. So it's looking good, man. We just gotta go and get them 3 points. Simple as that. If we end up slipping up, it's not the end of the world. But if you want to win the league, you got to make these kind of games count, because we always say we have a game in hand, but that game in hand means nothing if you don't win it. You get me? And obviously with United as well, resurgence of United, we need to create some real space and some breathing room. So we have to do it, man. I think we will as well. I think we will. The talks Thomas Partey could be fit.
What are we saying right now? Are we saying Thomas Partey or Jorginho right now? Like, if you had to say right now, like, be honest, like, Thomas Partey, does he get straight back in this team when you look at the Jorginho effect he's having right now? Like, he's having a good effect on your team.
Yeah, I'd put Partey straight in. The thing is, though, many people have spoke about it, and I've had a little think on it myself as well. There's an option there to maybe drop Granit Xhaka as well. Granit Xhaka hasn't been performing at the heights that we've been used to seeing him this season. Jorginho, Partey, give Partey a little bit more license to go forward. Have Jorginho sitting with Odegaard in the number 10. It gives us a little bit more fluidity and also defensive solidity as well. So we'll see what happens, bro. But Partey's got to come back in the team.
Be in the Casemiro Rodri debate.
Oh my God,
that's what I'm saying.
That's way too much. And look at his name. His name in itself is cringe. Man said Sakanelli, you know. You listen,
when I tried to put Jorginho in the debate a few months ago,
he's not at that table. Jorginho's a good player, and I was surprised Premsy said he didn't see. I've seen progressive passing from Jorginho for Italy and for Chelsea for a long time. So the sideways passing thing was a bit of a dirty, underhanded one by people that didn't like him and had an agenda. Guy's a good player. Might not have the legs that Partey or Rodri has, but he can ball, definitely.
Yeah. Now, you know what it is, though, man? I think Jorginho's doing very, very well, man. Like I said, you know, it didn't work out at Chelsea, but the way they just let him go when your house isn't, like, he's the only kind of almost midfielder that's going to be maybe could have balanced Enzo Fernandez in there. You know, slightly.
Our
Let's be
only
real.
DM,
Our
and we
only
let him
DM.
go.
They
you
must
got
have not
Conor
rated
Gallagher.
him, innit?
All the Chelsea fans were screaming out for Conor Gallagher, saying that he's your new, basically, J5. He's your Jorginho. English, can get about the park.
Conor
So,
Gallagher,
yeah,
we
yeah,
are the
that's-
most tapped fan base in the world, and we deserve everything that we're getting right now. If anyone compared Conor fucking Gallagher Greyhound to Jorginho, what?
Yeah,
oh
mad.
my! You know, I believe you as well. We got some tapped.
No,
people.
I'm not even bantering. That's what I kept seeing. The reason why you let Jorginho go is because you got Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher this, Conor Gallagher that. When he was at Crystal Palace, he balled out. It's time to give him his chops at Chelsea. Rare, tear. And now the guy can't get in the team anyway.
I've been saying for how long, like Jorginho, Enzo, that should be our pivot. Jorginho sits, Enzo goes forward. Everyone's
stop talking about our player now. Stop talking about our player now.
Yeah, it's disrespectful to talk about other teams.
Lucky I can't fucking.
Nah. You know what? I don't think Arsenal will bottle it, but Tottenham. I mean, what do you call it, Patrick? What do you reckon? Is there any chance Everton, could get some? They got a draw against what do you call it, Man City.
Yeah, there's always a chance in football, but realistically, no. But obviously, I'll be there, and I will love it if Everton gets something out of this game. But realistically, come on, like, go and this for the greater good.
The two little bros down there, eh? Two little bros.
But yeah,
we've got nothing left in this world.
Yeah,
if Arsenal win the league, I'm out.
Yeah, literally.
The game of his
Arsenal
life.
win the league. Imagine this year. Tottenham don't make Champions League football. Chelsea basically stay in the mud, and Arsenal win the league. Like, you man are finished.
Yeah. I'm quitting. I'm quitting social media.
I'm going to Amsterdam for the trophy parade. I won't be here. People think I'm joking. I won't be in the city.
Nah, that's the worst of the worst.
That's the scenario we're talking about.
That's it, man. Tottenham are shameless, man. Patrick was on Premier League Unpacked yesterday being shameless, you get me? Begrudging Newcastle, you get me? These man haven't won nothing in 60-odd years, and he didn't want them to win a trophy, so they can't say we won a trophy before Tottenham.
We're hungry out
it's
here,
all
man.
a mad thing. It's a mad thing.
We're hungry out here. And
you know what? That's crazy, That Patrick, you were preying on Newcastle's downfall.
100%. I'd rather the trophy stay in the same. Like, listen, if Newcastle, who've been good for 12 months, win a trophy before Spurs in their first final in how many years? 66 years, whatever it is. And we've been to countless Carabao Cup finals. We've been to the Champions League final. We had our league run against Leicester. If they won a trophy before us, oh my God, that would have been embarrassing. So yes, I was definitely supporting Manchester United. And to be fair, it was
Z hit the hammer on the nail, man. I'm starving out here.
Starving. I'm hungry,
bro.
Hungry.
It's peak out there, man.
It is peak. Trust me, it's peak. So yeah,
you gotta leave with something, man.
Well done, Si. Congratulations, man. And to be fair, man. it was a finals sometimes are a bit cagey. Sometimes both teams are nervous, tentative. There's not a really good it's not a good spectacle because both teams don't want to lose the game, so they don't go for it. But you lot were comfortable, man. And it was 2-0, but it could have been 3 or 4. You didn't. And this is why I've been saying it for a while, that Newcastle didn't really scare me. When everyone's like, oh, what about Newcastle? They're toothless as well, man. They don't really have a cutting edge. I
just hope and pray to God they jump you and get that fourth.
Of course you will, but I don't see. Like, I'm not even bantering. I don't really see it.
When Conte is back, we'll see.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know what's mad? Like your guy has won 3 games or 4 games, is it? How many games?
Stellini, man. I mean, we've won 4 out of the last 5, and the only bad result was when Conte was back. That Leicester hammering was when Conte was in charge. Other than that, we've kept 4 clean sheets. Yeah, I mean, so I'm looking at it now like, Rav, if he comes back and we start struggling again, it's actually Conte that's the problem. Because when he's not around, we're playing free-flowing football. We're comfortably winning games. So it's a bit weird. It's a bit of a mad one still. So.
You know what? I think maybe it's the fact that he, is giving the players a bit more license to kind of do things. But my man drubbing it down your throat. You know what I mean?
He micromanages like a motherfucker. It's on the touchline. I see him screaming at Emerson. He's literally up and down, pacing around. And I think sometimes, good players need freedom. They want to express themselves. So when you got someone screaming at you every second, you're scared to do anything. So, you kind of see they're playing it with a bit more, like Emerson Royale. Look at the difference he's had in the last couple of games because he's not got someone literally coaching him.
Are we going to touch on Richarlison not scoring yet, or what?
Again,
Yeah,
look, you know what it is, man.
It's a bit.
You Tottenham fans here, especially you. I don't know if it's you, but Toby and all that. Yeah, talking about Weghorst, talking about certain man. You know what I mean? What do you call Anthony? But nobody wants to talk about Richarlison and how much.
I'll talk about it. I mean, to be fair, yeah, obviously it's we're in March now, basically, and he hasn't scored a Premier League goal. So that is a shocker. I can't lie. There's no way to dress it up. There is some context behind it. He's had a couple injuries. He's not started as much games as I would have wanted him to start. But, regardless, he should at least have 5 Premier League goals by now. Do you know what I mean? He's a seasoned Premier League player. It's not like he come from Ajax. He didn't come from Serie A. He's been in the Prem for a long time. So
Watford, Everton, you know what I mean? There's no excuses, man.
No, there isn't an excuse really. He's not been,
60 M's, man. Big money that.
Basically from an attacking aspect, he's not been at it. He's not been good enough. But I do like his endeavour. I do like his tenacity. Like even against Chelsea, he gave us more than what some would in terms of pressing from the front. Obviously closing down, all of that stuff that people won't really talk about, but it does make a difference. But by going back to your point, Si, yeah, it is disappointing. There's still a lot of games left. I want to see him on at least 5 goals before the end of the season, and that's not a great return, but at least it's salvageable.
Slim chance of that. Slim chance of that.
He can do that. Come on.
Who's got
it's March and he's got none already, man. I'm telling you, slim chance.
I'm gonna say Weghorst scores more goals than Richarlison this season.
In the Prem.
In the Premier League.
No way. Let's have a bet.
Yeah.
Go on,
20
quid.
Yeah, 20 quid. Everyone.
I'll involved as well. I'm involved on the bet as well.
Score more goals in the Premier League than Richarlison.
Yeah, from now to the end of the season. Yeah. So all right, so cool.
And then you guys say, "Oh, he's not." And by the way, you can't say, "Oh, just because Weghorst starts, he started."
No. Listen, there's no thing from me. They both play for decent teams that score goals. It is what it is. So let's go. Yeah, 20 quid each way. Let's go. So,
okay, then say no more then, you know what I mean? And
for
us, obviously, we won the trophy. Again, Mama was involved.
Send you my bank details now, fam.
Yeah, exactly.
Put it in a group chat. I'll start it.
Yeah, it's madness, mate. You get me? Like, it just shows you, man. But United won the trophy. Ten Hag, you know what I mean? Are United back? Do you feel like United are back, though? Be honest. Like, do you feel like we're on the road? Kind of like,
definitely. Definitely, 100%, man. Look, putting all hating aside, I'm not going to lie. I wanted you to lose that final. Hate United, can't stand him. Obviously, Saeed, man's grown up in Manchester with loads of shit. You get me, bro? But at the end of the day, you got to say it as you see it. These man, Ten Hag come in, first season, got a trophy. Oh, look at that. Waggers, more trophies than Harry Kane. You get me? Let's put a bet on that one as well. Who's going to get more trophies this season, eh? But look, you got to look at Ten Hag. What he's done, he's coming to United. He's made players that are already there even better. He's brought in quality signings. He's brought a system of play to United, and they're very difficult to beat. You get me? They might not play the prettiest football at times, but they're efficient. They get the results. You get me? Coming into a new country, getting a trophy for the first time is not an easy task. You get me? Having said that, you did have a bit of an easy run in to the final, but you still got to win the games and you still got to get over the line in it. You get me? So you got to give United big credit. Every time something ain't going right, the guy will make an instant change and it works a treat. So I can see if United carry on in this way, bring in a few more signings, for me, they could be challenging for the Premier League next season. 100%, man. You got to take your hat off to.
Yeah, 100%, man. And like I said, Chelsea are a fine example. We spent 200 million or close to that, whatever. But you have to do something with the money, man. And Potter hasn't done that. You know what I mean? And he's struggling. If he had the management skills of Ten Hag, I think he'd be doing a good job right now. But he hasn't. Ten Hag's got everyone under control, under his under his lead. So it's like it's his way or no way. And that's what he is. It's almost like sometimes he's a militant style, but there's this also that kind of thing that he wants players to do well as well. You know what I mean?
I think Casemiro as well, Saeed, he's brought the best out of Rafael Varane as well. You get me? I think they've had a link up from Real Madrid, and the guy's been a revelation since he's come to United. When he's not in your team, you see what happens in it. You get me? Looking vulnerable to certain extents, but he looks good. Even Martinez, man, we were after him. We didn't end up getting him. The butcher. People were questioning his height.
Yeah, man. Him and Saliba would have been cooking. Even though Gabriel deserves his praise, But imagine him and Saliba in that centre back role. Oi.
To be honest, I think if we would have got him, I don't think he would have played at centre back. I think he would have come in at left back. I swear to God, I think that's where Arteta would have played him. We see Arteta; he likes playing Ben White, who's a centre back, right back. Martinez, I think he had a plan for him to go in because you got to think when we didn't get in, we went in and got Zinchenko. We didn't go in and get another centre back. We went in and got Zinchenko. So I think that could have been the plan for him. But Gabriel as well, man, you can't doubt what he's done. He's been better than Saliba for me this season as well, man.
There you go, man. So now you know what, man. What about you, Lewis? What do you reckon? United, are you jealous in a way because now we're kind of like got a direction now and we're going places? It doesn't feel like the banter era is it's not over, but like I said, it's not going to be every week like you, man, innit?
Bro, I am jealous of Fulham and Brentford right now. Forget Man United, man. Like, just everybody above us. We have nothing over here. We have nothing. We'd be happy with crumbs or just goals. Goals would be nice. Barely even get that. We've got 1 goal this entire month. So, yeah, good job with Ten Hag and everything. I remember what it was like to have a competent manager at the wheel. Instead, we just got a pothead. But yeah, hope you enjoy it. Hope you enjoy it, man. Just at the very least, if City can't do it, for the greater good, turn up.
Don't worry, just to let you know, yeah, if we end up winning the league by 3 points, it's all down to Tottenham. Just remember that, everyone. They did it.
If
got
you win the
beat
league
home
by
and
3
away.
points, then that means that City didn't beat you when they when you come to the
No, you tried to
So
deflect.
don't
Yeah,
try and
no, you
twist
tried
it.
to
Don't try and
deflect.
twist it.
You was begging for everyone else to help you out. Yeah, you couldn't do your job. You get me? You couldn't help yourself.
For the greater good. It's coming. Don't worry. It's coming. It's coming. It's all good.
You know what? Just to kind of like look at the top 4 battle, yeah. Obviously, this is the best of the rest. Obviously, Arsenal doing their bit and whatnot. Who do you reckon is favourites for the top 4 in terms of who's in there? Obviously, Chelsea. I ain't gonna lie to you. Even though they must right now.
Chelsea are not in it, man. They're not in it. There's no way. There's no way.
Now Chelsea not in it. But
Yeah,
you guys,
nope.
obviously, you're in 4th right now. Do you fear Liverpool on the way? See, Liverpool, yeah. They looks like they're back. Then I just looked at they're lacking Nunes, and Nunes is out for a while now, apparently.
Yeah.
Again.
I don't think Liverpool have the consistency to catch whoever's going to finish in 3rd or 4th. Obviously they've done it time and time again, but this year they just don't look like that team. Like even, you go and get smashed 5-2, or even put it this way, you were 2-0 up against Real Madrid, you concede 5 on the spin, and then your bounce back game was against Crystal Palace, which, if we're being real, is a good game to bounce back in. And they were lackluster in that game. Didn't score. And then I just don't know. This team just doesn't look.
They haven't got the fear factor about them anymore. No one cares. No one's fearful of them.
Teams will go at them, man. Crystal Palace were just as good as them. It's not like they were unlucky and unfortunate. They just didn't deserve to win that game. I just don't see Liverpool being consistent enough. Like even though people banter and laugh about Tottenham and conceding goals, we've won 4 out of the last 5. When's the last time Liverpool went on a run like that? Everyone else is doing that around that area. Like even Newcastle, they might not be winning a lot of games, but they can consistently not lose. And Liverpool aren't doing that. So I don't see them catching. For me, it's out of Tottenham and Newcastle. And I think we got the jump on them because they don't win enough games and they don't score enough goals. The thing about Newcastle is they're definitely defensively the best team in the league. Hence why their goal difference is so much higher than everyone else's. But they draw too many games for me. Even the final against you boys, I didn't really ever see that Manchester United were under threat. Like, I know, what's his name? Oh, fucking hell, skip my mind. But the winger, the quick winger with the good feet.
Saint Maximin.
Yeah, Maxi was cooking you guys on the right, but he never looked like scoring.
He just doesn't have the final cutting edge.
Yeah, that's it. He just doesn't have that final ball or that final.
I would rather have Trossard in my team than Saint Maximum. I don't know about you guys, but I'd rather have Trossard because at least he's direct. End product and direct, man.
Maxi's feet are amazing. Like he literally shook the lot and he sent him to the chicken shop. Like he went one way, the ball went the other. But it's just the end products is never there. And I just feel like Newcastle, Isaac is a decent striker, but he's yet to find his feet. And Callum Wilson is okay on his day, but how many days does he have? And he's always in and out the squad with niggle. So, I don't want to go too early, but I don't really fear them Yeah, I don't see them getting the jump on us. We just got to do our job. If we do our job, we'll be all right.
He should have used his brain as well, man. He should have, when he did that little chop, he should have fell over Delot's leg, man. And got a
Yeah,
penalty there, man.
definitely. That's when
Yeah, I
the
would have been
smarter
on.
players would do. The Grealish would have went over.
Hmm.
Saka would have went over. Harry Kane goes. You win the penalty first. Do you know what I mean? Rashford's going over, and that's the difference between the top players. They win that penalty.
He's got very good flair about him, but he just hasn't got no end product in it. That's just it. But I think, I think you're right. I think United have got third cemented, definitely. And it wouldn't even surprise me if United jumped into second, because City, I don't think they've had a consistent run of like 4 games. I think they've had been the biggest run.
Yeah.
It's been a bit mad, you get me? I think I'm just praying and hoping Newcastle can step up to the plate and overjump Tottenham, because it's surprising. It's actually surprising how Tottenham are comfortably in the top 4 when they haven't had a great season as
when
well,
you actually deep it, like it's you know what it is here? I just don't know when.
It's not that crazy. Sorry, Si. Let me just. I know again. It's a lot of.
You say anything about Tottenham, he's on it, innit? He's on it
because we've won the 4th most amount of games. We've scored the 3rd most amount of goals. If you look at the goals per game, we're like 4th in that. So there's a lot of things that actually point to why we would be 4th. But I do get it, because our defense has been so stinky for such a long time. It really does make it like, it makes you question. But like I said, in the last 5 games, we won 4 clean sheets. So that's kind of where the gaps now starting to come, because we put on a run of wins, and wins obviously will always push you up the
this
table.
Chelsea game give you chest, fam. This Chelsea game, you didn't want to say what was going on. You were scared.
Beat Fulham 1-0. Then we beat someone else. I can't remember who it was. Then obviously the Leicester one was bad.
Yeah, that's the Fulham one. These little wins here, that you know what, man.
Yeah, they push you up the table. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. So Fulham. That's it. So Fulham 1-0, Man City 1-0. Everyone forgets about that one. Then we lost 4-1 to Leicester, which was really bad. Then we beat West Ham 2-0, and then Chelsea 2-0. So we've gone on a nice little run. Do you know what I mean? And Emerson Royale has been the emergence or the resurgence.
Well, he's not normal, man. What is going on with Emerson Royale? Like
Redemption Royale.
Find out.
Pedro Porro's come in and chased down his missus. You get me, as a man saying.
Redemption Royale. That's what I'm calling him now. But now he's looked good, man. In the last couple of games, he's actually looked really good. So credit to him, man, because he's been through a lot. Like, the fans were on his back. He was getting jeered and booed when he was getting subbed on or subbed off. And yeah, no one wanted him in that team. And so for him to go from that to that, credit to him.
Yeah, you know what? Fair play to him, man. And like I said, it just shows you competition, man, is so key. Look at Luke Shaw. You know what I mean? Look at the way he's playing. Like, Zinchenko has to play at a high level every single game because he knows, like, Kieran Tierney's behind you. So competition is what you need, man. And you know what I mean? And obviously at Chelsea, it's different because he just keeps changing it and whatnot.
Yeah, he hasn't got a clue. Do you know what I mean?
He hasn't got a clue what his best team was. You know what? Let me ask you a question, Lewis, here. What is your best? If you had to choose a best team, who would be your best team? Do you know?
What, starting 11?
Best 11. Best 11.
Lewis looks absolutely...
Start again, Lewis. Sorry.
Start again, sorry.
Kepa, James, Silva, Badiashile, Chilwell. Everyone fit, right?
Yeah, everyone fit.
Enzo, Kante, Felix, Sterling, Madueke, and Aubameyang up top.
Okay, Aubameyang, yeah.
Yeah, upper up top.
Give Lewis the job. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, you'd do a better job, man. At least that sounds like
a sign me up, bro. I'll get us 40 points as a bare minimum.
You know what's mad?
Actually bench Martin Havertz.
You know what's mad though? Kante's getting a 4-year deal as well. You know.
Is he?
How?
He's on a 4-year deal, or he's been
4-year deal. We're giving him.
Really,
bro?
Even now with all his injury issues.
Yeah, that better be incentivized. If it's incentivized and it's like a performance-based contract, then cool, whatever. I'm not going to be too annoyed.
Mental.
If that's a base fee, we might be a bit more clueless than I gave us credit for.
Yeah, that's not a smart move.
Bro, he's broken right now, man. Like,
how old is he now?
31.
31. I was about to say he must be about 31.
Yeah, man. Kante, man. Flipping out, man. His legs are gone, man. Listen, he's been run to the ground. He's been playing at the highest level since 2015.
There's different types of 31-year-olds, because if it was Thiago Silva at 31, then I understand it. But Conte at 31 is not the same as other players. I don't know.
It's
He
'cause
might.
of
I
the
still
style of
think he's a
play.
very good player, man. If he was
It's the
fit.
style of play.
He is a good player.
Thiago
Clumsy.
Silva sits back and he just has to rely on his reading. Kante
Yeah.
roams. He likes
Yeah,
running
up
around.
and down that
Very
pitch.
intense. His body can't play that game anymore, but he continues playing it.
Mm.
That's why I can't trust this guy's body. That's why my biggest question is availability, even though this fan base is still milking themselves off to Kante because they're watching 2021 comps.
But now you've got
That's great. We're in
But now,
2023.
now you've got
Don't
such a
trust
big squad. You can manage his game time, though. You can
That's
play him for
true.
the big games. You know what I mean? It's all about managing the
If
minutes.
we had better midfielders, right now we're starving for midfielders. So Kante's getting thrown straight back into that starting 11. So it's like,
You should get to
try
replace
and
Kante. Get that guy from Borussia Mönchengladbach, man, Kone. I think he would be a ridiculous.
Nah, man. Caicedo from Brighton would actually be the perfect replacement, and he's from
Caicedo,
Bring
yeah.
both.
Yeah.
both. I have both.
But I also want him though. I also want him as well.
Yeah.
Also going to come back for Caicedo as well in the summer.
Probably,
Like,
I don't
don't
know.
get me wrong.
I
They
don't
got
know
Jorginho now. They're good. They're good.
No, but you need a midfielder because Xhaka's probably going to go to Roma because he wanted to go to Roma for ages anyway. So if he
Big
was the
talk
type
to
of-
Declan Rice, though, ain't there?
Oh yeah,
Declan
Declan Rice. I
Rice.
forgot about Declan Rice. Yeah, you lot meant to.
Declan Rice.
But also, we have
Right.
Rice's friend for sale if you want to secure the deal.
I'd take Caicedo. Don't get me wrong. I would love Caicedo. I think he's
Mm.
quality, man. The way he breaks the play up as well is just
Caicedo or
unbelievable.
Rice? Caicedo or Rice for you?
It's a bit of a hard one, to be honest with you. But I think
I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah,
we need both of them. I honestly do. I think
I
we'll
like
take both of them.
Caicedo. For what you
Judge-
guys would need in your midfield, Rice is also a good option in your midfield. Like his technical ability, Rice. Everyone like underplays Rice's technical ability.
No,
man.
Rice is good, man. He's good.
Rice
He's
is
good,
quality,
strong.
man.
He's very
Leader,
good.
captain. I think you probably get more out of Rice than probably get out of Caicedo because of his leadership qualities. Rice would give you, but Caicedo, you don't know, like you know what I mean. Rice, you can still see his upward trajectory. Caicedo's a top player, but you don't know, man. Let me know in the chat as well, people. Who would you get, Rice or Caicedo in your team? And Matt Ross says pull the pin on Casemiro for party grenade, bro. I would love to, man, but you know what, man? I don't want to trigger these Arsenal fans in it because every time we have a conversation, you know what I mean? We end up like, you know what I mean? It's all mad.
Listen, just because you won a Carabao Cup, don't think you're the bee's knees
Listen,
yet,
man.
mate. I tell you,
Oh, yeah,
hang
what
fire.
about Kovacic?
Hang
That's a
fire.
good point. I saw a comment. What's going on with Kovacic, Lewis?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what?
apparently, like,
Somebody
Man
said
City are
Bellingham in the
interested.
chat. I'll take Bellingham over both of them. I'll tell you that much for free.
Yeah.
What was that?
Jude Bellingham, someone put, how about Bellingham? I said I'll take Bellingham over both of them. I know the different
Oh, yeah,
positions,
great
but
shout.
Bellingham's quality, man.
Yeah, but go
for
on, go on.
Kovacic as well. It was City have interest in him. He might not want to stay because he's been kind of assessing his options all season. I'd keep him, but if he wants to leave, I'd sell him abroad, not to City.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say, you know, I mean, probably abroad would be kind of the better option, man.
Why
I mean-
City after him? I didn't know that.
City, nah.
Yeah.
City won him.
City won Bellingham, though, innit? City won Bellingham, so it's difficult, man. It's difficult, but you know what, man? I think it's going to be an interesting week. Well, we obviously got Liverpool on the weekend. Chelsea got Leeds, innit? Leeds at home, innit?
Yeah. Another team that will do the double over us. They beat Southampton last week too, by the way.
Yeah, they got a big win. Javi Garcia as well, manager bounce as well, so they could be, rising up as well. So
That's the manager that beat us 4-1 with Watford a few years back, if you remember.
yeah,
Jesus. Wow.
Facts.
Shit.
Let me answer that. Let me answer that question. I was going to say, obviously, for people that don't know, my dad's actually from London, married my mum and moved to Manchester. So that's why I'm an Arsenal fan. You get me repping it hard, 100%.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
absolutely, man. But yeah, man, tomorrow, obviously, you got the game. Premier. What's your prediction for tomorrow?
I can see us winning 3-0, you know.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. 3-0, easy, light work, man.
1-1.
I don't see it being any trouble for you lot. I really don't. I really don't.
Patrick's a proper fucker, innit? And then you go get that Subway shirt off, you cunt.
I was trying to get Femi to
National
bite, but he
Leagues,
wasn't
bro.
biting.
You're funny.
I won't
You're
be
funny.
back stick, 89th minute.
But yeah, man, listen, people, we're going to wrap it up now. Make sure you guys like the video, people. There's over 600 of you throughout the whole video. So please smash the likes up. Like I said, I don't stress it enough because it's one of them. But yeah, man, it helps the algorithm massively, man. So big up to everybody here from Canada as well. Rikesh, big up to you, man. Yeah, man. Love to everybody tuning in. Make sure you check out Boohoo, man. Use the code Saeed for 40% off. Link in description. Premsy, man, let them know, man. What's going on, man? What's going on?
People, we're going to be with a match reaction tomorrow. I unfortunately can't do a watch along for the Arsenal game because man is busy. But you can catch me at Premsy_AFC on Instagram and Twitter, and Premsy TV on YouTube. Appreciate if you subscribe as we're on the road to 6K people. Can't do it without you lot. Big up yourself, big up the panel and the chat. Amazing as always, man.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Big up to you. Carefree Lewis in the building. Carefree, what are you telling them, man? You got everything going?
Yeah, big up. I'll be live streaming on my channel most days, just complaining about the state of my football club. But yeah, lock in if you want to hear someone be depressed all day and feel better about your lives. Big up, everyone.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And Patrick, yeah, big up to you as always.
Yeah. I'll be live streaming on my channel. I'm on the road to 20K, so jump in. Catch me on there.
Yeah,
no, but all jokes aside, yeah, I'm gonna start putting some stuff out on my channel. It's Chatty Patty, but obviously follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Patrick Tyrant, and you'll see all the stuff. And yeah, I'm here, there, and everywhere. So all good, man. All good.
I told everyone when Patrick wins a trophy, that's when he's gonna start streaming. I'm telling you now.
I'm gonna
It'll take about 7-8 years.
I'll be old and grey, man. Jesus, no, that's not good. Not good.
Yeah, man. Love for coming on, people. Tomorrow we'll be at the game. Tomorrow, FA Cup game. We go again, man. We want to win that cup as well, man. So I'll catch you there for match reaction. Tune in for that one over there. So yeah, man. Love to everybody coming on. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, guys. It'd be amazing for you to guys subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you soon, guys. Take care. Bye-bye. Peace.